Every week, we talk to people from all over the country who are thinking about moving to Central Florida. And almost every one of those conversations starts the same way. They've seen the sunshine, the palm trees, the theme parks, the beautiful houses online, and they're excited about the idea of living here. But after doing this for over 3 decades, I can share a few things about Central Florida that tend to surprise people once they actually get here. Some of those surprises are great, and a few are things you really want to understand before making a decision on where to live or what to buy. So today, I'm going to walk you through 10 things you absolutely need to know before moving to Central Florida so you can make a smart decision and avoid some of the common mistakes we see people make. My name is Barrett Spray with the Barrett Spray Team at Keller Williams and Vantage Realty. We help families, professionals, and investors relocate throughout the Central Florida area. We service areas including Orlando, Winter Park, Lake Nona, Oviedo, Claremont, and almost all of the surrounding communities. Let's start with something that impacts almost every decision you're going to make here. Number 1, growth drives everything. The first thing you need to understand about Central Florida is this: growth really does drive everything. And I don't mean just general population growth. I mean very specific directional growth. What most people don't realize is that development in Central Florida tends to follow infrastructure. Wherever you see major road expansions, new hospitals, distribution centers, or large commercial projects, that's where residential demand tends to follow. A perfect example of that is Lake Nona. That area didn't just randomly become popular. It grew around Medical City, major employers, and long-term planning. So when you're choosing where to live, you're not just buying a house. You're buying into a path of growth, and that can have a huge impact on both your lifestyle and your long-term property value. Number 2, the biggest mistake people make. The second thing, and honestly one of the biggest mistakes we see people make, is focusing too much on the house and not enough on the location. 2 homes at the exact same price point can have completely different long-term outcomes depending on where they're located. One might be in an area that's fully built out with limited growth, and the other could be in a path of expansion with new infrastructure and development coming in. And 5 years from now, those 2 decisions can look and feel very different financially and from a livability standpoint. Sometimes growth is better. Sometimes seeing what that growth looks like when it's already done is appealing. So when we work with clients, we spend a lot of time talking about the bigger picture, not just what the home looks like today or what the area is becoming. Number 3, insurance isn't optional math. The third thing you need to understand is insurance. And this is one that catches a lot of people off guard. In Florida, the cost of owning a home isn't just the purchase price and mortgage. Insurance can be a meaningful part of your monthly cost. And here's the part most people don't realize. Insurance isn't consistent across properties. 2 homes that are similar in price can have very different insurance costs depending on things like the age of the roof, construction type, elevation, and location. That's why we always encourage buyers to look at the full cost of ownership before making a decision, not just the listing price. Number 4, the heat is real, but predictable. Let's talk about the weather, because yes, the heat is real. Summers here can be hot and humid, especially from June through September. But what most people find is that life here is just built around the climate. People adjust their routines. Mornings and evenings become more active, and midday becomes more indoor. And because almost everything indoors is air conditioned, it becomes part of the rhythm of living here, rather than something that constantly gets in the way. Now, before we get into some of the advantages of living here, there's one financial factor that plays a big role in why so many people are moving to Florida. Number 5, no state income tax. Florida does not have a state income tax, and for many people, that's a big deal. But here's the insider part of that. It's not just about saving money today. Many of the people relocating here, especially business owners and higher income earners, are thinking about long-term financial strategy. That's one of the reasons you've seen such strong inbound migration into Florida over the past several years. Number 6, tourism versus local living. The next thing you need to understand is that Orlando really has two completely different worlds. There's the tourism side, and then there's the local living side. And if you're near the major attractions, you're going to experience more traffic, more visitors, and a different pace of life. But just 20 to 30 minutes away, you can be in a quiet residential community that feels completely different. Knowing the difference is the key to choosing the right location. Number 7, lifestyle is a major upgrade. One of the biggest reasons people love living here is the lifestyle. Being able to be outside most of the year changes how people spend their time. Whether it's boating, golf, parks, or just being outside more often, it becomes a part of everyday life. Number 8, economic growth. Central Florida's economy continues to expand across several industries: healthcare, logistics, technology, and tourism. That diversification is part of what's driving both job growth and housing demand. Number 9, traffic is location specific. Traffic here isn't universal. It's very location specific. Some corridors can get busy during peak hours, while others remain relatively easy to navigate. That's why commute planning should always be part of your home search. Number 10, the right guidance matters. And finally, the last thing to understand is that Central Florida is not one single type of market. It's a collection of very different communities, growth patterns, and opportunities. Having someone help you navigate those differences can make a significant impact on your overall experience and long-term outcome. Central Florida can be an incredible place to live once you understand how the area works and which communities align with your goals. If you're seriously considering relocating to Central Florida, my team and I help people do this every week. Reach out to us using the contact information below, whether you're 6 months out or just starting to explore. And if you're trying to decide whether this is the right place for you, the next video you should watch is Pros and Cons of Living in Central Florida, where I break down both sides of living here so you can make the right decision.